So there's a lot of rumors, and now I have to ask you these questions, and you need to tell me basically true or false, so fact or fiction, if they're...
Who's spreading these rumors?
Fans.
Fans.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they spreading these rumors, or are they just asking if they're rumors or if they're fact or fiction?
I guess it depends who you ask. Some people actually, like you said, some people believe it. Other people have no idea. They're just talking. There we go.
Fact or fiction, Nicole? Is your name Nicole or is it Nikki B?
Depends where I'm at. If I'm in the ring, I'm Nikki B. If I'm out and about, I'm Nicole.
Fact or fiction? Does Bigfoot exist?
Fact.
Fact. Fact or fiction? You still believe that those 8-foot aliens exist and they're 13-foot aliens or whatever in Miami?
Out there mixing up the ocean and have you seen? Okay.
These questions aren't like that, are they? Well, we got wrestling questions here.
So far I see wrestling questions. Bigfoot, can you sit down? All right, that works. Okay, so fact or fiction?
Fact or fiction? Was the DDT created by accident with Jake the Snake?
Is that one of? I saw something. No, never mind.
Fact or I'm asking you.
Oh, was the
fact or fiction? Was the DDT an accident and it was created accidentally?
Fact.
Fact. Right. So, if you listen to Jake the Snake or Lynn Denton, depending upon which one tells the story, Lynn Denton says he came up with it. Jake the Snake says he came up with Lynn Denton being the grappler, but he had a front face lock on, the front face lock, and they were working, and he tripped and fell. He sold it so good, it became the DDT. These are the two of them now. Lynn being the one receiving the DDT, Jake obviously the guy that did it because he made it super famous and
Does
uber
Gangrel
famous.
give the best DDT, fact or fiction?
I used to. I think Jake by all means. Raven had a great one. Even Tommy Dreamer had a good one.
Sorry, we
derailed. DDT, I don't know. Mine was an accident too. How I came up with the Impaler DDT, but I was a big fan of them. But I gave several different types of DDT. I think I sent you a video where I used to do a DDT off the top of my shoulder, which I called the Super Impaler. But I could only do that when I felt healthy in the gym. Once my shoulders got terrible, I didn't feel like I could. Do it safe enough to want to do it to a lot of people, but do I give the best? No, it's in the eye of the beholder, just like beauty. You know what I mean? Everybody sees what they want to see, and everybody enjoys what they like. I might see a '72 Chevelle and say that's a really sexy car. Someone might go, oh, that's a clunker. Or I'll see a '72 Monte Carlo that's got panels beaten off and everything, and I go, oh, she could be a beauty. She's a beauty. Where everybody else go, oh, I need to go to the junkyard. It's in the eye of the beholder. So
I like that. So the first one was you were set to feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin in a storyline that was scrapped at the last minute due to creative changes. Fact or fiction?
Fiction.
You had a behind the scenes.
For the record, I didn't climb past mid card. I was Stone Cold was at the top of the food chain with The Rock and Undertaker. I mean, I floated around with Undertaker stuff, but that was still all I was a king of Saturday Night Heat for a while.
You had a behind-the-scenes role in training some of the WWE's top superstars of the 2000s. Sorry.
Do what now? I messed up.
Oh, no, you're good. You had a behind-the-scenes role in training some of the WWE's top superstars of the 2000s. Fact or fiction?
What is the 2000s? Are we in the 2000s still?
Yeah.
I don't know. How's that work? Is that 20s? Are we the 20s, 2000s? See, I'm not good with this.
Early
you can't
2000s.
Throw a trick question at me. I could tell you that I helped train Rusev, which went on to be Miro, but I don't know if that's the 2000s. I don't know. I don't know what years. I can't keep track of years. I've trained a lot of guys over the years. There's been guys that I forgot that I helped train, like a Tony Mamaluke that was in I don't know what he was in, but the Italian group. I don't know if it was the FBI's or whatever. There's been so many different people that I've worked with and trained with over the time.
Yeah, fact.
Okay. I don't know if you could tell me 2000. Get confused when you say 2000.
So another fact or fiction. There was a planned storyline that would have revealed your character as the mastermind behind several major plot lines in the Attitude Era.
Oh, that would have been cool. No.
Fiction.
Fiction, yeah.
Fact or fiction. Hulk Hogan was supposed to turn heel in the early 90s, but the plan was scrapped due to his popularity.
I have no idea. I probably could watch documentaries and tell you just as good as anybody else. 'Cause it's all over the place, Hulk Hogan stuff. I don't know.
Fiction?
No, I don't know.
No?
Because I don't know. I don't want to say fact or fiction. I feel like I heard something like I just was watching something where they were, but I don't know.
And the last one, There was a talk of turning the Brood into supernatural faction with powers similar to the Undertaker.
Undertaker had powers? Raymond would like to believe Undertaker had powers. What powers? He sacrificed Stephanie McMahon and got powers? Where did he get powers?
He comes from the dead.
What powers did he have?
Shows the weather.
That's in an arena, Raymond. Like, that was like lighting. Does Kane have powers?
Yes. Fire.
Well,
like an airbender, but a firebender.
Oh, so what would the Brood have had then?
You guys are vampires.
So we have supernatural powers. So what was the question again?
So there was talk of turning the Brood into a supernatural
wait, hold on.
faction.
So we were already a supernatural faction, so there was no turning into it, according to Raymond. We were supernatural vampires, so we would have powers. We'd have vampire powers.
Yeah, that's a tricky
We come up through a ring of fire. We don't get burned. We gave people blood baths. The lights would go out and they'd be covered with blood, like Carrie, you know. I think we already had supernatural powers. We definitely had a head game, and there was a reason Undertaker wanted us and his thing. I think because he knew our powers were stronger than his powers, and he thought they can unite it. But then when we were together, he realized our power was so stronger than the ministry power, so he had to snuff us out like a smoked cigarette.
Okay, so that's
confusing. What, scratchy? I think I answered.
Oh no, I'm saying like as far as like Fact or Fiction, because you guys already were supernatural.
We already were supernatural.
So
well, I was a vampire, but they never ever mentioned Christian Edge's vampires. They always said vampire-like or gothic-like. Actually, they never even called me a vampire. They always said gothic-like lifestyle, the gothic-like lifestyle of Gangrel, or the viscous liquid and.
So fact?
My challenge.
I think it's a fact, yeah.
I think we already were, so I think it's
okay.
a given. Yeah, I think that was it.
Okay. That was the last Fact or Fiction. Okay.
Now we're going to
you look frustrated. Like, the Fact or Fiction bothered you there, huh?
Oh, no, like, I see what you're saying, so I'm trying to see, like, what you were asking.
I'm saying the Brood is way cool. Not because it's part of the... Raymond is a huge Undertaker fan, so anytime there's something, he slides Undertaker.
Okay.
He slides Undertaker in. He doesn't even acknowledge the American badass. He doesn't acknowledge it. He goes, that didn't exist. It's Undertaker. It's Undertaker. It's Undertaker. Like, so, and there's a lot of people like that, and people go... They'll go, Gangrel, oh, how was it cool to be in the Undertaker's ministry? And I'm thinking, like, it was cooler to be in the Brood. I thought we were cooler. We had a better fashion sense. We hung out in nightclubs. You ever seen our videos? We're out in raves. We'd hang out under piers. I mean, like, we're just like dudes going out and hanging out and sucking blood on chicks' necks and, like, all this cool stuff and, like, dancing and raving. And the Brood was cool. Undertaker goes around trying to hang people and shit, you know? Like, he's just like, death. We were the life of a party. The life of a party. He was like the death of the party. You know, there was no party there. Everything died around him. Like Raymond said, he controlled the weather. Well, the Brood controlled the party, the atmosphere, the energy, the fun. You want to argue that, Raymond?
No, you can have that.
You can have that. Thank you. As you sit in a dark corner where nobody can even see you over there. No, I'm just saying the Brood was like, I enjoyed the Brood. It was fun. Not because it was cool. I think it was just really cool. And the Undertaker thing was really cool too. And it was cool to be a part of the ministry. But I've gone over this before where like the ministry, the Brood going into the ministry was like ultimately like the quicker death for the Brood, you know. So. Because it was well liked and the ministry was a heel unit at that time, and they put us in there, and the people still cheered us within that heel faction. They cheered us, which wasn't a good result, like, you know. So they took us out of the ministry that quick. You'll see people say, "Oh, they were barely in the ministry, this and this and that," but it was because when we were in the ministry, and I'm not putting myself over. Christian Edge were just like really good for the Brood. It was a really cool thing. It was a magical moment, you know, lightning in a bottle. It happened, and it was organic, and it grew, but it was popular. It couldn't turn us heel no matter what they did. They tried, and people still cheered the Brood. They put us in the ministry. They still cheered the Brood. They said, we got to get them out of the ministry, you know, and then feud the ministry, and then break us up after that. But ultimately, they had plans for Edge, you know, big plans for him, so he couldn't have stayed in the Brood forever. So, but the ministry thing speeded that death up, you know. It was a speedier death, you know, death upon sword or something. But
want some, get some, bad enough, take some.